hold on, Ranmaru's here this time. Ranmaru said he'd bring everybody here, but I've brought him. Yo. Rise and shine, Sarah-senpai. Hurry up and get on with this explanation. Wait, Meow, I don't see Stripey or Muscle Punk anywhere. Woof. I couldn't find Alice anywhere. And also, Kurimata. Kurimata is... Meow? What are you saying, Woof? I mean... Don't go writing me off, damn it. I'm more stubborn than that. Damn, dude! Kurimata, you're alive? Ranmaru, you bastard. Ugh! What are you doing, Kurimata? In the locker room on the lower floor. Hurry. What? I said, hurry. Before it's too late. What is going on here? When I arrived at the locker room, I saw something before even entering. Something unbelievable. The very worst sight of all. What is happening here? What? Alice! Why? Why? How did this? The legs dangling from the ceiling. When I looked up to see his face, it was hard to see it as a still living human's. No! Why? We were all going to escape together. Why is this happening? Tell me! Wrong. 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 This isn't real. I didn't want this. I want us all to leave this place alive. I want to live with my allies. That was how I really felt. You did this, Ranmaru. I heard the whole thing. After he gave that fake broadcast and stole the ID card from Sarah, he used that card in the control room to activate the hanging trap, targeting Alice, who was alone in the locker room. You're wrong. I was targeting Midori. I was waiting for him to finish repairing Maple. Then what was that about winning? You thought I was dead, so you didn't turn off the transceiver. So you muttered that happily to yourself. What do you mean? Winning means the same thing we've heard from Maple. Ranmaru. This isn't right, is it? Ranmaru is going full Komaida, I see. But also, you know what this sprite reminds me of? Reminds me of Soma Cruz from Castlevania. But anyway, my god, Ranmaru. We're gonna win, aren't we? Anybody would have worked as long as I didn't get found out. To think I'd screw up on the first one. Why would you do this? Knowing the clear condition of the banquet. Banquet? Is that thing going to end the death game? It'll just keep going to the main game. This is the only way left to save Sarah. Ranmaru? You gotta be shitting me! It's you who's looking to save himself, surely. Hey now. When did you side with them, Hinako? You! No one's going to side with you! We won't let you going around killing us! Yahoo! It's getting exciting in here! Midori! Alice is dead! Serves you right. So, my question, is this a Sou route thing or an Alice route thing? Does Alice always die? Or is it just Alice Reko, or is it Alice Reko who dies entirely in Sou's route? Interesting. I don't know if I want to do a full, like, Sou Reko playthrough to find out. But it might be... Well, yeah, I don't want to do a full Sou Alice playthrough, because that means I would have to do a Kana... Or a Sou Reko playthrough, because that means I'd have to do an Alice Kana playthrough. And that's just 4 playthroughs, and that's out of the scope of what I want to do. But it'd be interesting to at least check that. You... Midori, wanna make a deal? Huh? Here. I'll give you your ID card back. So take out those meddling dummies. Why, you... I see. Meddling dummies, you say? Come to think of it, we never got to your execution from the game of tag, did we? Oh, is this, Aranmaru's dies thing, then? Interesting. Huh? Hey! Hold on. You gotta be... Wasn't this over already? It just failed, right? Shit! I have to win. Bye-bye. You really ought to know your place, Ranma. Now then, it's time for her debut. Maple's been reborn. Oh, we're doing this here, then. Well, it's time to get Mai killed, then, because this is something... That's something that happens in this fight. I didn't expect Alice to become a casualty, though. I expected Alice and Sou to both make it to the next chapter, as Reko and Kana do in my main playthrough, but interesting. Settle down. As much as her appearance changed, she's the same inside. If we make her spend her battery, she won't be able to move anymore. In other words, make her do actions that cost lots of energy, and she'll run out in no time. Out of curiosity, what is just persuasion? Anyway, it doesn't matter because we're just gonna let time pass for as much as possible for Mai to get killed. Because this is the playthrough where I get everyone killed, including Alice, apparently. And it's time. What? No, my body won't listen to me. Aww. Even if I rushed fixing her, this is just terrible. Time to scrap this piece of junk. You're fine with that, right, Maple? No way. Mai! I still have a promise to... Now, Maple, don't do that. She'll end up just like Kurumada that way. You have to finish her off. Stop! Midori! q-taro. I'm sorry. I'm surprised Kurumada is still living, so I'm guessing he's going to die right before the banquet. Like, they really treated him as their leader then, huh? Like, the game itself, he's like, yeah, this is the last doll that dies if you want to kill them. Except Hinako, but Hinako's a special case. My? Good for you. You did the job right. No! What would you like as a reward, Maple? I don't need one. Hey, Hiyori. Shall we die together? Huh? Let's die, Hiyori. You die by yourself. This scene looks like it's gonna be the same. I'm the one who's pissed. Go apologize to Mai in the afterlife. Ugh. Let's follow, Miss Sarah. Please wait. Before that, Alice. He's already gone, you know. Don't be selfish. I'm going. Gone? You want me to just accept it? This tragedy. His life destroyed by Midori. His relationship with his sister torn apart. He lost Reko and rid himself of even those memories. Alice surely deserved to live a much, much happier life. I sowed the seeds for this. In that moment, I had the thought that I wanted to win, that I wanted to escape from the pressure of protecting my allies. It's me who drove Ranmaru to this, so it's a So route thing for sure. Completely. It's all my fault. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Alice. Gin, I have no right to embrace him. Depending on how the last chapter goes, I might do 3 playthroughs then, because, like, just to have one where Alice makes it through the to the end, you know? But I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. There's no promises there. That's just a guess. I have no right to embrace him. Sorry, Gin. Wait, Sarah. Q-taro. Muscle Gorilla. I don't know what Midori told you, but we believe in you, Sarah. Even if they might be different sizes, we're all carrying sins. That can't be true. Gin's always done his best for everyone. No, the main game vote. I ran away by forcing it on Big Sis Sarah, meow. We told you to do that! That's wrong, Gin. Nobody's gonna blame you. We'd have no right to hate you, even if you gave up on us. Don't be absurd. We are allies, so... That's right. No chance we'd live long if we split off from one another. So don't go leaving us. Don't keep your heart at a distance. Big Sis Sarah. Okay. I pulled Gin toward me tightly. Don't cry, Gin. Yeah. I'll overcome this. I won't become who Midori says I am. I swear it. On Alice's death. Big Sis Sarah. Let's go, meow. Right, let's go after the others. There's a red stain on the ceiling. That's not what I was clicking at. Alright, so Alice's body doesn't have collision then. Cool. And when we arrived at the cemetery, Midori was completely cornered by Maple. Man, Anzu's coffin just can't catch a break. Anzu's already in there, and she's being crushed. Her dead corpse is being crushed further. That's so brutal. I wouldn't say that. Just a second ago, you were scared of Maple's attack she was ready to die for. You showed weakness, your fear of death. That's right. I was always thinking that Midori might be indifferent even to his own death, but I was wrong. Even Midori doesn't want to die. Talk about nonsense. What does knowing that do for you? If you see a weakness to take advantage of, just go ahead and try. After all, the only means left to you now is the banquet. The banquet. Feels like we're on our last resort now. Where's Mr. Policeman? There's no time to look around. He's gonna be okay, meow. I trust him, Woof. Right. This is our last chance. Until we're ready, I should talk with everyone. Yeah? Everyone. 5 people. Cool, we'll do it then. I'm sure you know, but the real event lies ahead of us. It'll be a tough fight. Yep, but I think it's true. Midori was afraid. Fear can change a person. He must have a weakness to exploit, Miss Sera. Still, I have to say, Ranmaru, he did something pretty outrageous. Even I didn't expect him to kill Alice. Who needs a doll that brings harm to humans? Aren't you sad, So? Sad? I can't even make that kind of feeling anymore. There's no big difference between Midori and you all. Oh, to me, he says. Only the order. So, looking at So makes me uneasy about whether my vote then was correct. This game really wants you to know the Connor route was the correct route, huh? Was everything else up to now practice? It's a weird expression, but he wanted us to entertain him. And above all, he wanted to enjoy it himself. He's a big ball of desires. About Midori, we'll kill him. What else is there? Always saying you'll beat him or won't lose. No use doing that. Unless you show your real bloodlust, he won't be afraid. The banquet, huh? There's a lot to be uneasy about, but it's the most preferable way. Suppose so. Though if not for his stupid betrayal, maybe I could have been a little happier. It's a shame about Alice, Senpai. Yeah, it really is. But keep your head on straight. The banquet's ahead of us. There's no other way. Suppose so. You aren't happy? Despite appearances, I'm at least a little happy, Sera-senpai. Mr. Policeman may be a lady killer, but I'm uneasy without him here, meow. Yeah. And also, Muscle Gorilla and Muscle Punk are both injured, meow. Everyone will be okay. Don't worry, that's not true. Kurumada still has to die. It's his turn to die, after all. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on them, meow. How about you, Gin? Feeling okay? I'm totally fine, meow. Good. You've gotten hardy, Gin. Big Sosera. Depend on me anytime, meow. It also is occurring to me that for the discussion, we're gonna have 4 people. Technically 5, but Hinako doesn't really contribute. So, this is gonna be a fun discussion. No time for that now. No time for that, Goku. Worrying, huh? Hope things don't worsen for them. Don't be scary, meow. He's worrying about the right people, because they're both gone. They've got muscles, so they should be fine. Meow? Muscles are amazing, Woof. Not that amazing. You almost ready? Yep. I'm still a little... I need to talk with everyone. Yeah, that's a good idea. Now's the time to brace yourself. Q-taro, is there something you haven't told me? I want to know all about what happened when we were acting separately. It's all just like I told you. If you won't tell me, then I won't ask. I'm sure I can believe Q-taro. When you're ready, give me a holler and we'll start preparing for the banquet. No, I still wanted to talk to you, but alright. What's up, Kurumada? Never thought it'd go like this. Is your body okay? As if that's what matters right now. Shit.
He betrayed us, broke our promise, and then had to go and die.
We're the ones who were betrayed. It's not like he entered the dummies.
That ain't the issue. It pisses me off. Alice should have been here too. One last time, I wanted to take pride in seeing that promise through. Shit! Guess you can't really punch a corpse.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't. I guess you can, but I never would have imagined.
Shit. Damn Ranmaru, going and doing that.
Are you mad? Is this Maple's burnout body? Just her torso. You mean Ranmaru?
What else? Damn Ranmaru, going and doing that.
I'm still very surprised he's made it this far. But there's nothing else we can do but prepare for the banquet.
I'm sure everybody knows, but now we're gonna have to choose who goes into the 7 coffins. Doesn't matter if they're alive or dead. Someone's gotta go in, human or doll.
We don't know what'll happen. We should put the dead dummies' bodies in first. What do we do about the rest?
All the dummies go in. That'll do, right?
Yeah?
Don't want my pride to sink even lower. If you resist, I'll sock you.
It's fine, right? If we're just getting in.
Right.
I wonder if, because I'm on Sou's route, and Kurumara had to be alive to stop Ranmaru, that's why he's alive here. I wonder if I was on Kana's route, he would have died sooner, because he, of course, wouldn't have had to stop Ranmaru.
Alright, now we'll put the bodies in.
I wonder if that's what's going on.
Last one's you, Kurumara.
Or is he dying here?
My legs feel weak.
Huh?
What's the matter?
Kurumara, I guess I spoke too soon and he was dying right here.
It's weird. My body's... Hey! Hang on!
Kurumara! No! We're going to do the banquet together! He's completely stopped moving. It can't be.
Hey!
He's dead. No, he had long since hit his limit. In this state, he was only living by a continued miracle. Petering out at the very last moment. How unlucky.
Why you... Don't say it like that!
Well, but what is lucky is that he didn't run out of battery. He died of external wounds.
So his collar ain't gonna activate?
Means we might be able to bring him back.
We'll definitely save him, meow. So just wait, woof, muscle punk.
We placed Kurumara's body in the coffin. All that's left is the last coffin. I'll inspect it. And of course we know that this won't open. No good. It won't open.
We have to think of a way to pry it open, meow.
Yeah, but you know, the banquet isn't starting, so isn't this coffin empty?
Then, Mr. Policeman really did escape, meow.
But thanks to that, now we need to discuss who should go in the... And then, down it goes.
Whoa! The coffins!
They've completely buried themselves. No way!
The gate! Hurry to the gate!
And yet, we only have... Well, it was just Akana and q-taro for the first round anyway, but let's see what Sou has to say. Well, naturally, let's get to inspecting. Alright then, I'll touch around and see if there's anything else we can control.
It's just rotating and the platform for the hints.
There's hardly any differences in appearance. The only one we can identify is Anzu's coffin. That means there's only a 1 in 8 chance, and the same odds that we hit E.
Meow.
Can you think of anything, Miss Seta? A way to see what the eye can't see?
Sure can. It is the lantern. Actually, I want to extract first, just to see what he says. Oh yeah, we just use an item here. Alright.
Interesting. The lantern, huh? The light of this lantern can reveal things you can't normally see. But isn't it out of battery?
And then we get their lantern.
The coffins are glowing.
So far, everything is the same, just with So saying the important materials, because it's So, of course he's going to be.
Some of the coffins lost their glow. Well, we can at least tell that Anzu's number 2 coffin isn't glowing. Maybe the coffins actually glow using electricity? Bet they ran out of battery. The dummies run on battery, don't they? Maybe their coffins do too.
Oh, and we have to press her further because Ranmaru isn't here.
Nothing abnormal happened to my coffin, are you sure? I'm not just asking about your coffin, maybe a nearby coffin? So stubborn. Are you hiding something? Huh? How do you figure that? If I had to say, I did pour some hot cocoa on Ranmaru's coffin. But if something like that is relevant. I do feel bad about it, you know. What? What's gotten into you? Shorty says the cocoa doesn't matter, but the explosion and the hot cocoa have something in common. Being really hot, woof. Huh? So what? He's not wrong about that. A blast and hot cocoa would both be high temperature. That's right. If heat had an effect, we can draw the conclusion something melted. Namely, paint. The coffins are covered in something like paint that glows when exposed to the lantern. Come to think of it, that would connect to something else.
The consent form, right? Yeah. I don't know why it took me a moment to get that. I've done this before. It also glowed blue and then pop. Whoa, so it was using the same paint?
Yep. The paint comes off at high temperatures. That could certainly explain Ranmaru's coffin losing its glow. And it also leads us to the possibility that a certain other coffin lost its glow. Another coffin that stopped glowing. That would be
Keiji's coffin.
That coffin used a cremation system meant to grill Keiji alive. Precisely. And it was so hot that just touching the lid could burn you.
So, Mr. Policeman's coffin lost its glow too, meow. I bet the melted paint got under the lid, which is why it got stuck and wouldn't open, meow.
But that's strange, isn't it? That would mean between Anzu, Ranmaru, and Keiji, 3 coffins stopped glowing.
That ain't right. The numbers don't match.
In that case, you gotta wonder, who painted them? And when? Good point. I want to clear that up. Understood. Let's discuss it. I sure don't remember seeing any suspicious activity in the cemetery. If someone was fiddling with a brush, of course, I would have thought, what are they doing, you know? Then the coffins outside the cemetery, too. According to Meister, Gina and Midori's coffins are both new, right? So, yeah.
And they both glow?
That would make the coffins add up. Rather than 2 out of 7 coffins losing their glow, it's 4 out of 9. It would mean Anzu's, Ranmaru's, Keiji's, and 1 other coffin stopped glowing. There's just 1 we can't identify.
But I'm thinking the last one would be out of the cemetery coffins, meow.
It would be odd if it wasn't. Now we're narrowing things down. After all, this means Midori is in one of the glowing coffins. So if we pick a glowing coffin...
Wait up! The same goes for Gin, too.
That's right.
Unless we got a way to distinguish Gin and Midori, it's still a game of chance.
We've narrowed it down to 5. It's possible we could narrow it down further using the hint. That's true. So it seems Reko's dumbass comment was given to q-taro. You know, I seem to recall seeing a message mentioning the colors red, blue, and yellow. What was it again? Is this what you saw, So? And that is... We found this note while exploring, which matches something that was displayed on the coffin control system. I see. I remember now. The colors were all laid out there. Blue, human, red, doll, yellow, vacant.
Oh, and since it was on the coffin control screen,
the colors must be informing about the contents of the coffins, surely. So the red color of this lamp. Red doll. That means one of the dummies is in there. This is a huge hint, because everyone but Gin will be red. If we pick a red coffin, we can avoid hitting Gin. Plus, like, why... We're talking about the humans, so yeah, Hinako would be the one to react. Why do something like that? What should I do? We won't be able to trust the dummies, she says. The one dummy that's still alive? I wonder. Being able to take your hand off doesn't necessarily mean you're a doll. The dead dummies were given doll bodies, right? Nice to make things easier to think about. What does that mean? And of course, q-taro speaks up for Mai in Mai's absence, I see.
Hold on a sec. You suspecting Mai? That's wrong. Mai ain't with the organization.
Stop letting your emotions do the talking, you wrestling old-timer. Don't call Muscle Gorilla names, meow.
Yagin? Yagin?
This is just how it goes. The most suspicious person is also likely to be the human. Do you think we're just happily casting doubt on a dead ally?
Alright. Then let's prove it ourselves. That Mai's our ally.
I did think it was weird that Mai was the only one who passed the fingerprint scan.
Mai looked like she didn't understand why her fingerprints were registered neither.
It's all fake. Her attitude's in Act 2. Maybe her role was to move the death game forward.
Mai's 100% innocent, I tell ya. I know that much.
q-taro trusts her that much. Still, do you have any ideas? Did she attach a finger part, or...?
I got nothing. She hadn't attached any shady parts. She looked just like the Mai in the victim video.
But is it fair to lump her with the organization over that? Oh, and that's that. I'm gonna read up and like actually do the thing there.
And also Baker Lady, her victim video clearly showed her dying, meow. It didn't look like a fake video, meow, but we can't advance if we're scared, so remember it, woof. Baker Lady had 2 guns pointed at her head, meow. She was pale, her gloved hands trembled, woof. She looked like she was suffering a lot. I felt so bad for her, meow. Baker Lady had 2 guns. Yep. That's the kind of thing they call inhumane, meow. That's who Mai really is. Happily ever after not.
Hinako.
I know, what I'm saying is absurd. So show some proof to deny it.
Well, it's these 2. It sucks that they had to have Gin say that, right?
Can I say something, meow? Are we sure Baker Lady really never attached any upgrade parts, meow?
Nah, she didn't. Kinda feel like she'd be opposed, feelings-wise.
It's just weird, woof. Because the dummies should look exactly like the original humans, right, meow? But compared to the victim video, the Baker Lady and the dummies didn't have gloves, woof.
Gloves?
It's true. In the video we saw, she was wearing gloves. Yeah, it's weird, huh? Mai didn't have gloves on from the start, and if she took them off herself, we should have seen them in her coffin. Hard to imagine Midori forgot.
Then I guess her gloves got taken off because she got a part attached, meow?
Say what? Something got switched out before she woke up?
But you could just put her gloves right back on after attaching it, right?
True, that's strange. Why were only Mai's gloves not put back on her, I wonder?
Then, you're trying to say Mai's hands were Midori's hands?
She had seaweed heads parts, meow?
Not necessarily any hold parts. We've discovered that blue means human, red means doll. Do you remember when she did the fingerprint scan? It glowed blue.
Hang on! That means her hands. They're
Midori's human hands.
They what?
q-taro won't want to hear this, but it's possible that wasn't a fingerprint scanner. It might have been a blood tester that pricked the finger.
You saying there's blood in there?
Midori, he cut off his own hands to attach them to Mai? And instead, he equipped a rocket punch. That would give us an explanation where Midori is human and Mai is a doll.
He's beyond messed up. That just ain't right. Can we really win against him? Against a guy who can calmly cut off his hands?
So you were listening, huh, Midori? After all that, this is where we're at. If Gin and Midori are both human, there's no way to tell them apart after all. Listen, we've got 2 options. Pick the 3 coffin, knowing it will miss, or risk the chance of hitting Gin, and aim for Midori with 1 in 4 odds.
Too bad you hit Kurumara. Kurumara?
How nice that it was a corpse. You're all so lucky. I wish I could have seen it from outside.
Don't be ridiculous! Stop! Are you going to decide victory like this, Hiyori?
What's going on? Was there some hole in our logic? Everyone calm down. Let's calmly have another discussion. According to that hint, Hinako was human. That drill doesn't look to have any blood on it. But I have to imagine it's not so crudely built as to allow us to judge like that. It might be designed so we can't put it together using blood, yeah. Sure enough, it's all we can do is consider Hinako's past actions. Did Hinako do anything only a doll could do, like switch parts? If you can't remember, that's to be expected. Hinako's video was the only one that didn't show the victim's face. That's kind of fishy, huh? It's unclear if she really died, and with her face not being pictured, we can't even determine if it was Hinako herself. That's true, but don't you have to wonder? Supposing our logic so far hasn't been wrong, it's Hinako herself that's odd, right? A good point. First, if Hinako really was human, does it mean she was just acting as if she just died in that video?
Hold on, meow. I don't think it's good to claim it was all an act, woof. The shorty in the victim video and the shorty in the dummies were just different people, meow.
Is there any other clue besides the victim videos?
If you think about it, nothing obviously deadly was shown, despite all the other dummies having sharp things, axes, or other execution devices around, right? You mentioned it, yeah.
I'm sure the real Hinako died like in the video, meow. But the shorty we know took the real one's place to infiltrate the dummies, woof. And she probably would have disguised herself to blend in so Midori wouldn't find her out, meow. With just a middle school uniform, fancy socks, and pink hair, you'd look just like shorty, woof. I don't know what her goal was, but it's not good to assume she was our enemy, meow.
Is that plausible? Seems to have some credibility now, doesn't it? Alright, listen up, would you? The paintings in the gallery are all victims who died during the death game. So it's a given that the girl in that painting was also a victim here. But no one's seen this black-haired girl. Surely because she died in the first trial before meeting anyone. Now then, Hinako's video. That's a video of her first trial where she's clearly being called Hinako. Meaning, the black-haired girl was the real Hinako Mishuku who was killed in the video. As for the dummy's Hinako, it was a separate human taking her place.
Wait. I've been curious about this a long time. This ain't something I want to talk about, but do you remember when we first met Alice?
Alice?
We were questioning him, and this is one of the responses he gave. A speaker said something about a trial, but it was foolish. I committed myself to hiding. Hey, Sarah. Does that bring anything to mind, like some kind of item?
Q-taro, you're talking about this, right?
Sure am. That's a voice recorder with a recording for a pair first trial. Let's listen to it again. This was in the locker room. It was probably a trial split between floor 4 and 5 where you kept in communication. You didn't have any ill will. I'm sure Alice just left the room all casually. But his partner died. Alice won the trial by betraying them. He killed her. His partner, the real Hinako.
No way.
That's why the real Hinako wasn't one of the dummies. He created a relationship of perpetrator and victim between them.
Stripey.
It's rough, both for him doing it unconsciously and for the one suffering the consequences.
This is terrible. We really are just thoroughly being played with like toys. But, thanks to this, we've solved the mystery of Hinako. Without question, the dummy's Hinako was human.
Then what were those hands attached to Mai?
Stop it, Hiyori! There's no need for this! You've had your fun, right? Just call it your victory. Gein's still just a little kid! Well, if we think about it, Midori's naturally in the number 3 coffin.
Hey, shouldn't we be thinking about whose side Meister is on, meow?
That's a good point, Gein. That's the natural, expected result of our logic. Which is why it's unnatural. If Midori planned this far, then we're all but done for. Damn it. Is there anything at all, like a slip of the tongue from the enemy? Isn't finding that kind of thing your forte, Sarah? It's not my forte. Oh. A slip of the tongue.
Dummies were created to kill us, but that don't matter none. Kurumada, Hinako, Mai, Anzu. They were all our allies in the end. Gotta show them the weight of that.
I don't think we should trust him, Wolf. He's just acting impartial, but really, he's on Seaweed Head's side, Wolf. And Shorty, too. I don't want to suspect her.
Yep. What'd you just say?
I said this
Maybe I'm reading a bit too much into this, but maybe Hinako wasn't going to say, this can't be happening. Rather, she wanted to say, this coffin.
coffin.
Hinako was cooperating with Midori, so maybe her coffin was intended to not be picked.
But it was.
So she was betrayed. What does this mean? Miss Sarah, do you know why she thought she wouldn't get picked? Because... it was marked somehow, with something special. Not quite. I was going with, because the first time through I picked it was a non-glowing coffin, so the only other explanation would be, it's marked, because it's paint. Midori's in a coffin, isn't he? How would he see it? Because it was in a non-glowing coffin? Then she'd have no worry of being picked.
But Hinako's coffee was glowing, wasn't it?
Huh? Then that idea is wrong. Is it wrong?
Big Sis Sarah?
Hinako had hot cocoa, right?
Yeah, and she spilled it on Cotton Candy's coffin, Meow.
What if the reason Hinako had that hot cocoa was to pour it on her own coffin?
Meow?
Then she poured it on Cotton Candy's coffin
To help him cover it up?
Yeah, she carried out her plan in the confusion. If this is true... Meister, tell us something.
What is it?
While this device was being set up, was it possible to trade coffins?
Well now, I suppose you could. Say what?
I locked them when starting, yes. Until then, everyone could do as they wished. Then maybe the incident that happened just before the banquet began. But why did Hinako trade with him? I'm sure she didn't necessarily know everything about how it worked, and she didn't even consider that she would actually be betrayed. Keiji! Hang on a second! Why are you just here?
Sorry about that. Took some time getting here.
Are you the real deal?
Might be a ghost. Want to check?
Then, I guess we don't have to explain, huh? Now that I'm here, I need to save and test something. This is completely against my morals and conviction. But, what if I pick Gin? This is my final decision.
Don't do it, Sarah.
But if I don't, you'll...
We'll save Gin. I know you can do it.
So he stops you, and I'm assuming even if I confirm it again, he'll... Cool. That makes sense, but I had to know. No. I'm sure the result will still be the same, but what if I choose a different coffin? Wait, no, there's only 2 coffins remaining. I'm a fool. I was about to say, what if I choose a different coffin? That's right, he's in 7. No, it's 3. Don't even listen to me. My mind is mush. I'm very smooth-brained. Okay, I was wondering if I tried to pick an unrelated coffin, would Sarah spin it as, I can't kill Gin, but I will let Midori do it so that Keiji can survive. Anyway. Keiji! No, he can't die like this. I need to...
Gin Ibushi.
What, Meow?
Keiji Shinogi. Shin Tsukimi.
What?
And Sarah Chidoin. The 4 of you will have a final match. Until then, give it some careful thought. The ways in which you might outwit each other. Why is this scene replaying itself? Hello? Hello? We've hit a loop!
It keeps looping. Oh my god. Regardless, it ends there. And, so I did look it up. And yes, both Reko and Alice die in Sou's route. So, I will do one last run through of this. I want to see what happens with Alice if he survives. So, see you, what will, for me, be like an hour, but for you will be just a second. Alright, and now here we are, and now all but Ranmaru Kageyama and Keiji Shinogi have assembled. And since Kurumada showed up first, that means that Ranmaru won't show up and just be accused by Kurumada after the fact. So yeah, now we're on a path where Alice survives. Well, now that we're here with everyone alive, let's actually talk to everyone again and just see what's going on. And then we can go and see what unique things Alice may have to say during the banquet. Ranmaru, you're smiling. Speaking of Ranmaru, I think it's very neat how he plays to whatever side of Sarah is showing the most in the route you're on. Because in Sou's route, he gets provoked by her. He kills because that's what she is seeming to want in the moment. Because that's the side of her that's kind of showing through. He sees that she's leaning a little more manipulative, and before Sarah snaps out of it, he wants to play to that. And then on this route, on the Kana route, I noticed that he notices that is not at all what Sarah wants. And instead, he sees that she's still mentally relying on the memory of Joe, so he tries to instead implant Joe's AI into him. And I think that's very, very neat of his character. Very unfortunate, because it means that he essentially becomes emboldened to Sarah rather than, like, becoming his own character, if that makes sense. But, like, I wish he had, like, I wish he could find an ambition of his own. But, you know what I mean? Anyway, what's up? Why are you smiling? I ain't smiling. So, was I useful? Of course. Ranmaru's basically just like a puppy, is what I'm getting at. Sarah, Keiji's, I mean, just, I hope you find him. Yeah. He still attacks Keiji regardless, though. Is your battery okay? Show me your ears for a sec. I'm fine. Don't get so close. It's important, though. Gonna change parts? We don't know what the banquet will be like. Might want to upgrade. It's fine. I've gotten plenty of, experience with that stuff already. Uh-huh. This is the same as what she said here on the other one. She doesn't seem to change anything differently depending on what route you're on. This is the same as well. Well, may as well pick one of the... Is your wound okay, q-taro?
Don't sweat it. If I've made it this far, shouldn't be no concern.
Uh-huh.
Come to think of it, is Kurumada okay? Impressed he's hanging on like that.
Should I check up on him?
Yeah, could you do that for me? We've gone this far. We can't go losing anybody.
I'll do that later. Mai, are you prepared? Of course, I'm always ready.
Hey, Sarah, do you like everybody?
Of course, the dummies too.
No, not that. I mean all the human survivors.
I don't think you even need me to answer that.
I guess so. I like you guys too. Whatever's awaiting us at the banquet, I'll be on your side.
Thank you, Mai. You're enthusiastic.
Yeah, obviously.
Great talk, great talk. Your personality's changed.
This banquet thing's scary, but I'll do my best.
I didn't say you should revert back.
Oh.
Kana, my daughter, my dearest.
That's right. We owe it to our solidarity. Yes. We'll all overcome the banquet together and greet Mr. Policeman with a smile. And we'll revive all the dummies too.
Kana, you're so straightforward.
That's because I don't want to go astray anymore.
There's no hesitation now. She really has grown strong. You did good. This is thanks to you, Kana.
Kana didn't do anything. She just wanted to help you, Sarah.
I'm deliberately going to Kurumada last because he might ask for a song again, and then if I go to Alice, he might be the one to do the song, and then I won't be able to talk to people. Now we just need Keiji.
It's okay. I'm sure he's somewhere.
Yeah, I think so too. Same to you. If the dummies didn't trust us, we couldn't have gotten this far. You're truly stupendous. In comparison, I was always just cowering. The one thing I can take pride in is that I never tried to harm Gin. Being that I'm a coward, I suppose that's only natural, but... Even so, I'm glad Gin could live. Yes. If we really do get home at some point, I hope to live reflecting on what I did. I hope the day comes you can forgive me too. No kidding. My back's sore from all this carrying. Want a shoulder massage? Hoping for some repayment. I can provide you with some goods for my company, if we get back, of course. I want to see him soon. What's this? Have you affections for him, Sarah Chidoin? Nope, she is 17. He is, like, late 20s. Since when could you afford to poke fun like that, Alice? I need not rely on him, you see. I protect myself. Why, you're looking awfully uneasy, aren't you? I understand. I won't fall for cheap provocation anymore. And if you tell me to imitate an animal, I shall become even a goat. What are you talking about? Calm down. Silence! I'm saying that this is just how much I will put my pride on the line to defeat him. No, but really, why should you do as I say? Because you're the leader. Have you forgotten already? Going with you gives the highest odds of winning. Make use of us, damnable leader. Interesting. I'm sure he's alright. Well, no use relying on someone who isn't here. We will proceed further on our own power. Am I wrong? No, you are not incorrect. Should we go look for him? Don't be absurd. We've no time to wait nor search. We will fight without Keiji Shinogi. Just take it from me, why don't you? And finally, Anzu before we talk to Kurumada. I'm sure the banquet's not that kind of party. You never know, it could be the start of an acute alcohol poisoning death game. Uh-huh. I know I'm not all that bright, but if I think about it too deeply, it depresses me. If you don't think, then you don't have to be afraid of the scary future just ahead of you. Ah, but then that's me thinking about it, isn't it? Gotta forget. Anzu's struggling with things in her own way. Sure is. She's trying to be no thoughts, head empty, but we are underage after all.
Right? And it tastes funny.
Tastes? Hold on, have you?
Nope, just picturing it, I swear. Stop glaring at me like that.
Did I have a scary look? You seem calm, Anzu.
Not at all. I'm just trying not to think about the bad stuff.
Anyway, Kurumada. Is your body okay? Huh.
As if I haven't been teetering on the brink this whole time. Anyway, gotta tell you something.
What is it?
You told us that you protect everybody, dummies included.
Yes.
Thanks for keeping that promise.
Naturally. I always keep my promises.
Huh, is that right? I feel like listening to a song.
A song?
Might be our last moments of peace, right? Make something happen. I want to soak in this while I can.
Hold on a sec. I don't need to sing, do I? Guess I'll find someone good at singing. Do you have battery?
Dunno. I'd like to know that myself.
That looks painful, as usual.
Makes me glad I'm not human. Would probably hurt like hell.
Yeah. Alice has experience with that in another timeline.
You want me to sing?
Yes, I thought you might be good at it.
Very well. I shall sing you a song even you would know with my 70-point karaoke voice.
What kind of song?
One I often sang with Reko when we were children.
Alice started humming a song. Oh, I've heard that one before.
Oh, shall we sing together until our feelings are calmed?
Yeah, let's all sing. Haven't felt this peaceful in a while.
You may sing as well. Music is good indeed.
It's fine if I provide some accompaniment, right? Kana is glad we could call. Oh, you're still. Yours is still normal. I forgot about that. Kurumada is listening with a look of satisfaction. Maybe he actually really likes this kind of thing. How is it, Kurumada?
Not bad. Feels like, you know, that it's good to have allies.
Kurumada?
What? Now I got no regrets, no matter what happens. Let's win, Seta. Kana.
Right. And now all that's left is to see what Alice has to say during the trial.
Is there not something, some way to see things I cannot? Have you thought of something, Seta Chidoin? It seems you have an idea. Then show it to me, this so-called item. Indeed, with enough heat that just touching the lid would burn you. Yet, how strange. Going with this, there's Anzu, Ranmaru, Keiji. 3 coffins would have stopped glowing. Then someone painted the coffins before we parted from q-taro hamburger. It's inconceivable that no one saw such a suspicious act. Thus, it was much, much earlier. The very beginning, before the death game even began! Before it began. Don't gawk at me. What I mean is they were repainted for the death game. Surely Midori repainted some old coffins that had been sitting around for some time. You've done it, Ginibushi. Well remembered.
Naturally, Meow.
No wonder there was no suspicious persons. A new coffin would have been painted to begin with.
I like how Alice is the one that caught on immediately there. He's a lot smarter than, like, he paints himself out to be sometimes.
Yes, Meister said so, that Gin and Midori's coffins are both new.
So Gin and Midori's coffins both glow.
Anzu's, Ranmaru's, Keiji's, and one more coffin ceased to glow. The lamp indicates the contents. Red for human, or red for red blood. In other words, there's a human within.
Of course, Yabasame has to say this dumbass comment that we've heard each time. I also love how, for the most part, the dolls that can die have absolutely useless things to contribute. So, like, if you know who can die ahead of time, which, like, at that point you're spoiling yourself, so why not just look up a walkthrough anyway, then you can kind of metagame, like, what's important or not, which is very funny to me. True, I feel that may be somewhat forced, but whether or not blood flows through them is a major difference for identifying a doll. Mwahaha, a good hint. For we've learned that all but Ginibushi will be red. If we choose red coffins, we shall avoid hitting Ginibushi. The dummies and Midori, that combined group of 7 would appear to contain 1 human. The coffin control system has it all color-coded. Blue, red, or blue, human, red, doll, yellow, vacant, and blue 1, red 6, yellow 0. If those were the contents when the game began, no doubt, 1 human is among them! If Gin and Midori are both human, then, like, there's no way to tell them apart? A drill piece right on through? Or, excuse me, Thraga? The lamps came up red and blue. Thus, the info on the coffin control screen must be true. It all makes sense. Only the outcome was wrong. Why? Is that not rather suspect? Not only are we unsure if she really died, with her face not being pictured, we cannot determine if that really was Hinako. True enough. But something doesn't feel right. Listen, supposing the reasoning we have made thus far is not wrong, it would be Hinako herself that's strange. Wait, if her face wasn't pictured, does another conceivable possibility not emerge? The Hinako in the victim video and the Hinako with the dummies are entirely different people! I suspect the real Hinako died as in the video. However, a mystery person took Hinako's place to blend in with the dummies. And surely they'd disguise their appearance to make sure they weren't found out, right? Simply wear a middle school blazer, gaudy socks, and dye your hair pink, and presto, it's Hinako. This is what I'm most curious about. How is Alice going to address the first trial thing here? Because his is most important here. Ahem! Barbecue Tato! Does that not almost describe Hinako? Hey, come down now. Similar as they might be, her most distinctive pink hair is different. It appears it's gaining credibility. Now, listen well, all of you. All those depicted in the gallery are victims who died in the course of the death game. So naturally, that girl should be a victim as well. Yet, no one has seen such a black-haired girl. Because surely she died in the first trial, never getting to meet anyone. And regarding Hinako's video, in this first trial footage, she's clearly referred to as Hinako. In other words, this black-haired girl is the real Hinako Mishuku killed in the video. And thus, Hinako of the dummies was a separate human taking her place. Wait. Alice? I feel this sensation, as if there's a thorn stuck deep in my heart. Well, do you recall when you first met me? When we met? You were asking me questions, and I believe I said something like this. A speaker said something about a trial, but it was foolish. I committed myself to hiding. Hey, Sarachidoin. Do you perhaps have something on you that comes to mind? I do. Alice, you're talking about this, right? Indeed. That's a voice recorder, with a recording for a pair first trial.
Listen to it once more.
I press the switch on the speaker. This is the first trial. You have 5 minutes. If you cannot escape in time, you lose your life. You are not alone. Your fate is tied to someone you cannot see. However, if you refuse this connection and are willing to betray them, you can leave safely. Follow the voice in your heart.
The location was the locker room.
Surely it was a trial between floor 4 and 5 where you kept in communication.
Yet I just let it pass through my ears and thoughtlessly left the room. I'm sure the other person died. I won the trial by betraying them. I killed her. My partner. The real Hinako.
No way.
This is why the real Hinako did not become one of the dummies. A relationship was formed between us. One of perpetrator and victim.
Stripey.
I'm truly the worst.
No, Woof, it's not your fault, meow. It's the kidnapper's fault for making us do this, Woof.
Geen, this is terrible. We really are just thoroughly being played with like toys. But thanks to this, we've solved the mystery of Hinako. Without question, the dummy's Hinako was human. I was hoping for a little bit more on Alice's part there, but I am happy he at least showed remorse, whereas like q-taro and Reko in the previous one are like, I'm sure he had the purest of intentions. He left without a second thought, blah, 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 blah. But I am glad that Alice himself was like, no, I killed this person. But I do wish there was a little bit more discussion there, a little bit more elaboration, maybe like a CG of what Alice was doing, because this is very specific to him. This isn't this was covered by other characters in different routes, but this is his story, so I was hoping for a little bit more special, But oh well.
We're safe. Red means it is not Ginibushi. If this is Midori, we are victorious.
That's true.
Truly, I would like to have a discussion where we decide which coffin to select, but in all honesty, we have no choice but to select this coffin. Stop it, Midori! You've had your fun, surely! You intend to harm a child such as him? Are you not curious about why Midori chose Anzu's coffin? To Midori, indeed, choosing any of them would have been fine. But of all things he chose Anzu's, there's surely a great significance to it.
Alice, what would the reason be?
You're asking me? Give me a sec. No doubt it's because Anzu's coffin was the only one we knew the contents of from the start! Midori should be in the coffin that Hinako was originally in. There must be something. Like it's a little cocoa-colored, say. Whoa! Keiji Shinogi. Hold on. Why are you simply here? Protect Keiji Shinogi! Alice Yabusame.
Silence. God damn it, Alice. Is this why on the other route it just kind of reset? Because it was expecting to pull up a dummy to talk, but there wasn't one because I killed them all? That's probably what happened. Anyway, since I had Mai alive this time, and now that's Kurumada, may as well read him.
Damn it. Of all things, it's just me left.
Kurumada.
You guys, I got a request. I don't care about you bringing me back. More important is getting revenge for them. You gotta...
Kurumada!
His battery. Just watch. I'm sure we will.
Hello? Oh, yeah, this is just as far as the story goes. Sure, let's save our progress. Okay. Well, now that that's done, and now I have to wait for the end of the game to come out. Man, this sucks. I guess I should talk about some of my thoughts and theories just now, finally. So first things first. For the longest time, I had a theory that the people in play now weren't necessarily the real participants and might just be doll replicas, because there's been so many simulations going on. Who's to say this isn't one more of them? But I think at this point I should stop being stubborn about that theory and put it to rest. At this point, it's just... They debunked it pretty early when they were talking about how dolls couldn't be filled, or how blood would indicate human, and thus a doll wouldn't have blood. And I rejected that. I'm like, no, I think you could put blood or something akin to blood in a doll, but there has been no example of that happening up until this point, so I think if they just did it, then that would just be poor storytelling, frankly. You can't establish rules and then change them last minute without proper foreshadowing. So I have to accept that these are the real humans that are participating, because we have seen many of them bleed. And q-taro, for example, had to switch out for a doll that is just... okay. And I still think that, or because of Agin's little thing, I think that these characters were actually replaced by dolls in their day-to-day lives, and thus they aren't going to be missed in their day-to-day lives. Because Gin's wish was that, or at least Gin has to have been replaced, because Gin's wish was to grow up and to be a good kid for his mother, essentially. And that wish has apparently been granted. So the only way for that to happen is there's a doll taking his place. As for why Sarah's here, I don't want to suspect Keiji, but that's the only way I can rationalize it, because I hand-waved that away the last time. Like, oh, maybe Joe or Kai or someone wished for her to be here, but that doesn't make sense. Joe never would have signed a contract. He's not a participant, or he's not a candidate, excuse me. Kai didn't want Sarah here. And then we mostly know the wishes of everybody else, more or less, except for Keiji. Now, I don't think Keiji maliciously brought us here. I don't think he's part of Asunaro, but I have to relent on my guess that Mr. Policeman was Joe's dad for this to work. I still want that to be true, but assume the other theory that it is Sarah's blood father is true. Then Keiji knew that Mr. Policeman was having a child, so Keiji could have had a wish like, I want to protect Mr. Policeman's child, or something. And then that ended up being Sarah, so she was brought into a situation in which he could directly protect her. AKA this. Would be my guess. And now I threw around a theory as well that people like Kugie and Joe may have been involved with Asunaro, and that's how, like, Kana got to sign the contract. And that still may be true. We don't know enough about them, but the hole in that theory is Nao. Because Nao was Mishima's helper, but now there was nothing pointing to Nao being involved. Kugie is suspicious based on her having an acquaintanceship with Midori, but that's not even damning either, because
Sou had a friendship with Midori, and Sou had no idea what was going on, so Midori may have just cultivated that relationship as a means to get at Kana. I don't know. I still think Joe knew more than he let on, because I still think that very beginning of the game was suspicious, and we still have that unexplained instance of him talking with Kai, and we don't know what that was about. So, again, I think Joe still knew more than he let on, but I don't know at this point. I think Meister is Sera's dad, like Sera's adoptive father, or at least a doll of him, because their postures and like demeanor are incredibly similar. I think their sprites are basically exactly the same, but in a different outfit. So I think that's basically true. And that would also explain why Meister kind of like nudged in Sera's favor there, because he's like, yeah, I want my daughter to win. Let's go. I'm ultimately going to be beholden to the game, but I might nudge things a little. You know. What else do I need to address? Mishima's head. So, there's a theory I saw wandering around about how Gin might be the mastermind, and I reject that wholesale because Gin is a victim, and also I do not want the child to be evil. But there was a theory about Mishima's head being in his pillow and being carried around in. And if Gin's responsible for that, I think that's fucked. But I don't know if that's true, and I think it's a bit far-fetched considering there's a point in Chapter 2 where you can wash Gin's pillow, as far as I recall. So I think Sera would have noticed something weird. She might have commented on its weight, actually. I don't remember. So maybe. Either way, that is going to come up at some point because it has been acknowledged as an outstanding plot point. So clearly that's still in non-Kidai's mind, or majority. And then, of course, because this was obvious ever since Keiji brought it up, but the previous Death game is still absolutely connected to this one somehow. Maybe the leader, the one that won the previous Death game or escaped from it, is the founder of Asunaro or something stupid like that. Who knows? But obviously, there's still some ties to it, to each other. What those ties are remains to be seen. I think that's everything that's been swimming around in my mind. If not, I will edit it in. But either way, thank you so very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. I will see you in my other videos, as well as when the next part of Your Turn to Die gets released. Until then, have some fantastic days.